3 failures out of 10,000 jobs, but the operator saw 0. The autorep output sorted by job name, not status, and the terminal buffer clipped the middle where the failures hid. Let's break down AutoSys autorep command, how it works, and the exact mistake behind that failure. Autorep is like the check status button on a delivery tracking website. You tell it which jobs to track, and it tells you what's happening, running, succeeded, failed, or waiting. But without filters, it can flood your terminal. The most common use is checking job status. But in an environment with 10,000 jobs, autorep J% produces 10,000 lines. The failures you need scroll past in milliseconds. Always filter by status. Here's the basic syntax. The % is the wildcard. It's consistent across all AutoSys commands, but never run autorep J% without filtering in production. Use autorep J% sfa as your default. The Q flag outputs the job definition in JIL format, the exact configuration that defines a job's command, machine, conditions, and dependencies. This is essential for backups, cloning jobs, and debugging. Automate autorep J% Q as a daily AutoSys job itself. When someone accidentally deletes or corrupts a job, yesterday's backup saves the day. An engineer once ran a JIL script that deleted 2,000 jobs. Without a backup, recovery would take days. The default autorep output shows only job name, last start, status, and exit code. That's not enough for debugging. Use D to see actual runtime, command, stdout/stdir paths, and any override attributes. When a job fails, first command, autorep jjobd. Then check stdout/stdir paths from the output. Always include D in your debugging workflow. The run flag shows historical runs. Run 1 is the previous run. Run 2 is the one before that. Your ops director wants to know why a job reran 3 times last Thursday. Autorep D shows current status, useless. You need the run history. That's the L flag. It dumps the job's log file path, start-end times, and exit codes for every execution in the retention window. The output is raw, tabular, and exactly what a debugger needs. Exit code 12 across 3 consecutive runs, that's a file lock. Exit code 127 on the 4th, missing binary. You can trace failure cascades without opening a single log file. Always use RN to limit output. Without it, you might get 10,000 lines. You've got 200 jobs, 3 are on hold, 2 are running late, 1 failed at midnight. Autorep W gives you a single line per job with status alone. No headers, no frame, just the state machine. Filter it with grep and you see failures, terminations, and successes in one glance. The real win? You can put this in a cron job. Every 5 minutes, run autorep W job group prod mail, S, AutoSys pulse ops team at corpcom. That's your zero config alerting. No Splunk, no PagerDuty, just text. Downside, W doesn't show exit codes, but for a heartbeat check, it's the fastest way to know if your pipeline is hemorrhaging. This is the same issue we highlighted at the start. Here's exactly why that happened. Autorep J% output is sorted alphabetically by job name. The 3 failed jobs had names starting with X, Xreport, Xload, Xvalidate. They appeared in the middle of the output, not at the end. The terminal buffer only kept the last 100 lines after the command finished. The operator scrolled back manually, but missed them because the output was massive. The team had no automated alerting and didn't know about SFA. The operator ran autorep J% without a status filter, which dumped all jobs sorted alphabetically, causing failures to be buried in the output and missed due to terminal buffer limits. The fix was straightforward. First, change the operator runbook from autorep J% to autorep J% SFA to show only failures. Second, added automated monitoring. A cron job runs autorep J% SFA grep v, no jobs match, and sends email if output is non-empty. Third, integrated critical failures with PagerDuty. Finally, wrapped autorep in a script that formats output and highlights failures in red. The key change was using the SFA filter to avoid the terminal flood. Running autorep J% D produces 50,000 lines of output. The terminal freezes or takes minutes to complete. It's worthless for real-time monitoring. Always filter before D. autorep J%S_D for failures, or autorep J_AUD%D for a specific job family. This is the mistake from our incident. Running autorep J% without a status filter in a large environment floods the terminal with thousands of lines. Failures scroll past before you see them. Always filter with SFA for failures, SRU for running. An engineer once ran a JIL script that accidentally deleted 2,000 jobs. Without a backup, recovery would take days of manual work. Always backup before changes. Autorep J%Q backup $, date plus %Y%M%D%H%M%S. JIL. Automate daily full backups. The R flag with L to limit recent runs is available in AutoSys R11.3 and later. In older versions, R11.0, R11.2, L dumps all retained runs without a limit. Use head N20 or a script to truncate output. Always check your AutoSys version with autorep V before relying on R. The article mentions pairing W with a script for alerting, but doesn't show a concrete example. Here's a production-ready cron script that emails only non-success jobs using W and awk. The article notes that SFA performance depends on database indexing. In production with 10K plus jobs, ensure the status column on the IJOBS table is indexed. Without it, autorep SFA can take 30 plus seconds instead of 1 second. Verify with show index from IJOBS and add an index if missing. When autorep is slow, check event server table sizes. Purge old events with DB purge events. For intermittent failures, use autorep JJobName run1 to see previous run status. If autorep SFA shows no failures but business complains, check job logs directly. Exit code doesn't guarantee success. Let's run through some common interview questions. What is autorep used for? Reports job status, definitions, machine status, historical runs. How to list all failure jobs, autorep J%SFA. What does Q do? Outputs JIL definition for backup audit. What wildcard does autorep use? %sign. And a few frequently asked questions. What is autorep? Command line tool for job status, definitions, and machine status. How to see only failed jobs, autorep J%SFA. How to see previous run details, autorep JJobName run1D. To recap, autorep is your go-to for job status and definitions. Never run autorep J% without filtering, use SFA. Always backup JIL definitions with Q before bulk changes. Use D for detailed debugging, L for historical audits, and W for automated heartbeat checks. Build aggregation scripts to alert on failures immediately. Ready to go deeper? Up next, ON hold versus ON ice in AutoSys, then force start and kill job in AutoSys, then AutoSys monitoring with WCC. Find them all at TheCodeForge.io. Thanks for watching. The full article and code examples are covered in detail at TheCodeForge.io.